Fire.
What's your reaction to the ESPN magazine article?
I think it's a problem that's on every college campus right now, and I think the biggest thing, our responsibility as coaches, is to educate our guys on what the dangers are, and that's what we continue to do. And I think that's the biggest thing. But it wasn't, that's not a revelation, I think, when anybody saw that article. But I think the biggest thing for us, and I think our responsibility as coaches, is you're coaching 18 to 22-year-old kids that they're in a mistake-making phase of their lives, and I think no one goes through life without making a mistake. But I think the biggest thing is, do you learn from your mistakes? So I believe our job and what our responsibility is to educate these kids on not just don't do it because if you get caught, here's the ramifications. Is you shouldn't be doing it because of really the effects that it has on you, and that's what we do as a group. Our medical staff, and Dr. Skaggs talks to our players about it all the time. We've brought in people from the outside to talk about the effects of drug and alcohol abuse on your body, and that's the biggest thing for us, is really the education part of it.
Do you think the article unfairly singled out Oregon?
Nah. I mean, it happens, but I don't think there's any coach in the country that coaches college football that says, hey, that they can't write that article about us. But they can pick whoever they want. They went back and they did a lot of research. They interviewed guys that played here in 1996, so it was a good historical piece too. So.
Do you think that the range 40 to 60% is accurate for your team?
I don't know, because I know how many kids have been tested and that hasn't shown up. But the other thing I'll tell you is the single biggest determining factor on sports performance is central nervous system readiness, i.e. your brain. And if we had that many kids doing it, we wouldn't be 34-6. And because it's not just about doing it the day before a game, it's about practice. And we win because of how hard we practice. And I see our kids every day in practice. And if we saw signs of it, I haven't seen signs of that. But if we do see signs, and again, because of the state law, we have to have probable cause to test them. I wish we didn't have to have probable cause. If we had random, I could answer that question right now and tell you exactly what the data is. But we don't have the data because we can't test every kid in our team. But when we talk to people, and the people we brought in, again, the single determining factor in sports performance, you got a reaction time, you got to do a lot of different things, and it all starts from your brain. If we had 60% of our kids doing that, we wouldn't be 34-6 in the last 3 years and playing 3 straight BCS games.
So you would like to randomly test?
I'd love to, because I'd like to give everybody the answer instead of being in the dark and telling you what I think it is. But I can't tell you exactly what the number is, but I could tell you it's this, because we tested all 105, and I can tell you what our percentage is, but we can't do that. So, we deal with the rules that we got. But I think the biggest thing for us is the educational component to it, and not telling kids that don't do something because if you get caught, here's the ramifications. It's the same thing. They've got to learn from mistakes of others, but it's, to put your head in the sand and say that that's not happening on college campuses throughout the country is, that's not happening. Everybody's pretty aware of that.
So you're kind of proactive, and you have people come in.
Yeah, we've had a lot of people come in and talk to our teams about the effects of it. I think that's part of our job. I think, our job isn't just winning games on Saturdays. Our job is making sure that our kids develop intellectually, our kids develop socially, our kids develop spiritually, as well as they develop physically. And we understand, and I've learned a lot of data over the last couple of years with people that brought in about the effects of it on your brain, and it can hurt you. And I think the people that give you the whole, well, it's self-medicating and all those other things, they're just making an excuse to see if they can get away with it. But there's no proven facts from what I have, people coming in and saying that it's good for you. So
there was an article obviously described a player smoking in front of an ESPN writer. Have you, or will you try to find out who that player is and discipline them?
Well, we can't, because you guys never give up your sources, so I'd love to find out who it is. So if you guys can get me it, give me the name. We'll test them.
Talk practice a little bit. You're getting down to the final few days, prepared, ready for the spring game?
No, we don't really consider that right now. All we want to do is just have a good Thursday. I mean, our spring game is, it'd be no different than, Jerry, if we were playing a game and it would be next Saturday, so we're 5 practices out. So our talk isn't anything about the spring game on Saturday. It's, the situations and what work we did today. To get better as a team. So, just like our weekly preparation, when we'll go out there and we practice on Monday, we're talking about Monday, we're not talking about Saturday. So right now it's still, we got a lot of work. I think, that's what our kids love. They love practicing football. They love playing the game. And the more situations we can put them in, the better off they're going to be in the long run. We had a couple situations come up again today, and you're like, hey, there's a great teaching point right there. We need to talk about in our meetings tonight, see if we can get better, and then come out and have a better practice tomorrow than we had today. And that's been our goal all through the spring. Can we improve as we get going? And we'll attack the spring game and the breaking up of the team sometime next week. So.
One more question. like you said, you did a lot of research. You talked to a lot of players. Does it upset or disappoint you that a few current players, even as sources, were willing to talk to him about the situation?
I don't know. It doesn't upset me at all. I know it's a problem. So for me to say no, it does. It's not that. I know it exists on our campus, and I would be naive to say that I can't believe that someone on our team is doing it. But again, our job is to educate them. So, I don't know anything about it. You got to ask him about who he interviewed. He may have not interviewed non-football players. I don't know.
Would it upset you if some of your guys were talking to him?
Yeah, anytime, I don't care if our guys talk to anybody. That doesn't bother me. They can talk to whoever they want to talk to. It's part of being a college student. So, to answer your question bluntly, does it upset me that our guys talk to somebody? No.
Why didn't you talk to them? They approached you before.
They approached me about a week ago, so they were in some clandestine operation on our campus. We heard a story that they were here sometime in January, and then no one told myself or Rob Mullins what they wanted to talk to us about. So.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thanks, guys.